Good day, everyone. Good day. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and this is Morning Sip. There we go. We are live today on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and streaming on New Thought Media Network. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's show. Happy Friday. And we're going to get right into it. I want to just do a quick recap of our series this week, which has been fabulous for me. Y'all know sometimes these series are just for me. I'm just sharing it with you. And so this week's series is Every Day is Not Sometimes. Ooh, I cannot. Glasses are so dirty. Every day is not sometimes. Yes? And so the question that I've been asking this week, what daily rituals support your life? What daily rituals? What are your daily routines, right? I've been focusing personally for myself on my morning and my evening routines. And do I have it set up for my success every day? Not sometimes, but every day. And so that's the question of the week. What daily rituals support your life? And we know that by daily, we mean every day, not just sometimes, every day. So every day we get to choose to uplift, right? This is what we talked about yesterday. We get to uplift our consciousness, we get to uplift ourselves through our thinking, our speaking, our being, and our doing. When? Every day. Every day is not sometimes. So, yesterday I invited you all to join me for a complaint free week. And then this morning, what came to me is, I think it'll be easier for the people if we just did it for the rest of the month, right? Instead of a week. Let's just round out January with no complaining, with no complaining. And we know based on, I think it might have been Shay sharing that expressing our feelings is not complaining. That is true. Expressing our feelings is not complaining, right? Judging, judging is complaining. Judging is complaining. Wanting to be right and argue and defend is a form of complaining. So one of the comments that came up yesterday that I said I would table for today was a question that came up from Julian. Hey, Julian. Hey, Shay. Hey, Maja. Good day, everybody. Good day, everyone joining in. We're recapping our series Every Day is Not Sometimes. And I've come to the question that was asked at the end of the show yesterday. And Julian's question was about the ego and complaining, right? So her question was, why does complaining feel validating to our ego? Why does complaining feel validating to our ego? So, this is a huge subject matter. The ego is a huge subject matter. And I'm going to do my best to condense it and just give you a sip, right? Because this morning sip, just give you a sip, spirit and practice, right? We are practicing no complaining. We are practicing our awareness of when our ego, if we are complaining, guess who Guess who? Guess who's in the driver's seat? Our ego. Our ego. So one of the resources that I use for this particular topic is this book, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I love The Power of Now, which was his other book, and I love, look, I have all these all these notes, all these little flags that represent things that really, really resonate for me. So, I want to share a couple of things from A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And if you go on YouTube and just Google Eckhart Tolle's interview with Oprah, it's a really good interview. And they are celebrating the anniversary of this book, A New Earth. And I'm not sure when the anniversary was, but if you want to see a really good interview about the ego, because he talks a lot about the ego in that interview. So, one of the things that Eckhart Tolle says in the book is that the ego is the false mind made I, right? The ego is one of the ways in which we identify ourselves and other things as the I, right? The ego mind is conditioned by the past. And most of the time we're in complaint, it is about the past. It is about something that has already happened. It is about something that already happened and we can't change what happened because it already happened, right? Complaining, I love that he writes this. Complaining is one of the ego's favorite strategies for strengthening itself. Complaining is. So just think about every time you're in complaint, every time you're complaining, you are strengthening your ego. You are strengthening your ego. Just think about that. So I want to read a couple of things to you from the book. And he has a whole chapter about the core of ego, the core of ego. So if you want to take a deeper dive for yourself, I would recommend this book. So this is what he says. Complaining is one of the ego's favorite strategies for strengthening itself. Every complaint is a little story the mind makes up that you completely believe in. I love that too. Whether you complain out loud or only in thought makes no difference. Some egos that perhaps don't have much else to identify with easily easily survive on complaining alone. When you are in the grip of such an ego complaining, especially about other people, is habitual. Complaining is a habit. Complaining is a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed, it can be transformed. And of course, unconscious, which means you don't know what you are doing. You ever in a conversation and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shoot, I'm complaining, right? Totally unconscious that you're in complaint. Applying negative labels to people, either to their face or more commonly, when you speak about them to others, or even just think about them, is often part of this pattern. Name calling is the crudest form of such labeling and of the ego's need to be right and triumph over others. Name calling, and I would add to that self criticism. Name calling towards your own self is a manifestation of complaining. Let me go on with one other thing. He also talks about complaining being a form of resentment. He says resentment is the emotion that goes with complaining and the mental labeling of people and adds even more energy to the ego. Energy to the ego. Resentment means to feel bitter, indignant, aggrieved, or offended. Instead of overlooking unconsciousness in others, you make it into their identity. Who is doing that? The unconscious in you, the ego. Sometimes the fault that you perceive in another isn't even there. It is a total misinterpretation, a projection by the mind conditioned to see enemies and to make itself right or superior. At other times, the fault may be there, but by focusing on it, sometimes to the exclusion of everything else, you amplify it. And what you react to in another, you strengthen in yourself. I love that. He goes on to say that the ego is a expression of the collective human dysfunction. Complaining is a dysfunction. It is a dysfunction. At times, you may have to take practical steps to protect yourself from deeply unconscious people. This you can do without making them enemies. This you can do without making them wrong. This you can do without complaining about them. Your greatest protection, however, is being conscious. Our greatest protection about complaining is being conscious. Being conscious. Somebody becomes an enemy if you personalize the unconscious, that is the ego. Non-reaction is not weakness, but strength. Another word for non-reaction is forgiveness. And the ego's greatest enemy of all is, of course, the present moment, which is to say, life itself. And I could go on, but I'm going to stop right there and check in with you all. All right. So, Imaja, expressing our feelings ain't complaining. Judgment, my child is complaining with a different color outfit to put on to pull you in as carrier of negativity. And yes, it is still in that lane, no matter what you call it. Absolutely, Imaja. Shay is sharing. Complaining is the perfect place to use let them. Yes, Shay. Yes. I used it last night with that obnoxious drunk judgment, right? Totally worked. With the let them theory. This is a book that Shay introduced me to by Mel Robbins. And I love Mel Robbins. She has a podcast. She's fabulous. And she wrote a book called The Let Them Theory. And it's just about letting people do what they're going to do. And you don't have to get caught up in it, right? You don't have to complain about it. You don't have to use your energy towards anything. You just let them so you can let yourself. So it's one hand is let them, the other hand is let me, right? I love the theory. So thank you, Shay, for sharing that. And I haven't read the book yet, but it's on my list. Good day, Maria from San Jose, California. Yes, we cannot afford the luxury of negative thought. No, we cannot. And girl, it is not a luxury. Oh, no, it's not. It's junk. And Maria said, when we advocate for ourselves, we are telling the truth to someone who can help with a focus on solutions. Yes, thank you. And we get to hold the vibration of love. Yes, yes, yes. And stay curious. Yes, curiosity beats complaining every day. So be curious. Thank you, Maria, and welcome to Morning Sit with Rev Melissa. So, no complaining for the rest of the month. Who's joining me? So we're already doing this in our 30-day mental diet class. So all my mental day dieters out there have already started their complaint-free diet on this past Tuesday. So now the invitation is for my congregation of joy here on Morning Sip to join us in no complaints, complaint-free January for the rest of the month. And no complaints every day, no complaining every day. And what do we know? We know that every day is not sometimes. Every day is not sometimes. So, guess what's probably going to happen when you make this commitment to not complain about anything, anyone at all? You will become more aware of so many things that you could choose, because it's a choice. Complaining is a choice that you can choose to complain about, or you can choose to let it go. Right? So it is about awareness. It is about awareness. The ego's greatest enemy is the present moment. Eckhart Tolle said, ego and awareness cannot coexist. When you are complaining, you could ask yourself the question, where am I? Because if you're complaining, the complaining is in the past. So if you are complaining about something that already happened. You are complaining about something that someone already said. Has anyone ever had the experience of something happening, and then you spend the next hours, the next days ruminating over what you could have said, what would have happened if you had said this, or if you had what I should have said? Anybody out there? Oh, yes, I have been in that place of what I woulda, coulda, shoulda did, or what I woulda, coulda, shoulda said. And the next time this happens, this is what I'm going to do, right? So not only am I in the past, but now I have projected myself into the future by saying, if this ever happens again, this is what I'm going to do, right? With all the attitude, all the judgment, with all the separation, with all of the things, right? Practice. Practice no complaints. Live a complaint-free life. Live conscious. Live conscious, aware of what you are thinking, saying, doing, and being. How are you showing up? Are you showing up as a complainer? Oh my goodness, does anyone have someone in their life, as soon as you see them, as soon as you see their name come up on your phone, you know, before you even answer the phone, that they got something to share that is a complaint? Oh, I have a suspicion that you might have at least one of those persons in your life that you can practice with now. No complaining. No complaining. You might ask them to join you. Guess what I'm doing for the rest of the month? I'm practicing no complaining every day, not just some days, every day, every day. So this is what we get to do. So Fee, I see you. Fee is sharing. Is it not easy? But it's not easy, but possible. I didn't realize saying Planet Fitness makes me feel poor to say cool is a form of complaint until I shifted my awareness. Now show gratitude to and for Planet Fitness. Yes, I remember you speaking about that yesterday on the Get Rich show, Get Rich 101 with Sekou Wrights. The fiance files on Thursdays. Love it, right? Yes. Complaining can be quite, um, it could disguise itself. It could disguise itself. So pay attention, right? Pay attention to your intentions and sharing what you're sharing, right? Because there's a difference in just sharing, right? And complaining as you're sharing. There's a difference. So I'm glad you caught yourself. And what helped you to shift from complaining is the awareness that you were doing so, the awareness that you are complaining. So when we become aware that we are complaining, what do? We don't keep complaining. We don't say, oh, well, I'm complaining. I might as well just keep going. No, we stop. We take a pause. We gather ourselves again. We take a deep breath. We could speak something that we're grateful for. We get to choose. We get to make a conscious choice about how we are using our energy, our intelligence, our consciousness to uplift, to uplift. Complaining is low vibration, y'all. Anybody can complain. But uplift, uplift. We have the power. We get to use the power to uplift, not just ourselves, not just our inner circle, but the whole world, y'all. But it starts with us. It starts with us. This is what we get to decide to do, not our ego, not our ego. Our ego is just wanting to survive, right? The ego is just like me. Yeah, all day. The ego don't take no days off, y'all. No days off. So be as committed as your ego is to uplifting yourself, to shifting when you hear that negative self-talk and criticism. Whose voice is that? That is not the voice of who you are. No, it's not. Complaining is not the voice of the indwelling spirit within us, which is who we are, individualized expressions of the divine. So come back into alignment, readjust yourself, and speak words of love, of kindness, of peace, of harmony, of joy. Speak words of your quality. So, speaking of quality, please join me for our 2025 quality, high vibration quality, the quality that we are making a commitment to experiencing, expressing, and embodying more fully in 2025. One of my qualities for 2025 is grace. So instead of complaining, when I catch myself in complaint, I could use the quality of grace to have grace for myself because I'm practicing no complaining, which is a habit. And we know it takes effort and energy to shift a habit. It takes practice. So instead of beating myself up about finding myself in complaint, I could apply grace. I could apply grace. So, what is your quality? Please put it in the comments and I will add you to our list of 2025 qualities. I send energy to each of you who are part of our 2025 quality list. So, let me check in one more time and then we're going to get into some joy news before we run out of time today. Fee said, awareness helped me. Complaining is typically coupled by gossiping. Oh, that's a good one, Fee. Yes, that is not the environment that I want to live in either, Fee. No, no, no. So, yes, we're going to stay in that high vibration. And yes, we can pivot. We can pivot the conversation. Yes, 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 we can. Let them. There we go. Yes, Maria, grace. All right, Maria's quality is fun and laughter. All right, all right. I love that. I love that. Hey, hey, Patty. Yes, she's giving you a shout out fee. Yes, all of that. All of that. Yes, yes, yes. Singing and dancing. Okay. All right, Maria. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. So please join me. No complaining. Complaint free. Complaint free for the rest of January. Can you make that commitment? Can you make that commitment? And when you find yourself in complaint, what are you going to do? You're just going to forgive yourself. You're not going to make a big deal about it. You're just going to take a breath. You're going to reframe. You're going to say a word of gratitude. You're going to give yourself grace, and you're going to keep moving forward, being present with yourself. That's what we get to do. So thank you all. Thank you, Julian, for that fabulous question. Yes, thank you, Julian, so very much for that. So let me get into joy news real quick. And I guess I will just share for the weekend what's happening at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, where I am the spiritual leader. This Sunday, we are virtual, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can go to rocklandcsl.org and get the Zoom link. We also stream live on our Facebook page, Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living. And this Sunday, we are wrapping up our January theme, which is rooted and living. Rooted and living. And there is a quote: the law is infinite. The law also flows through us because it flows through everything. And since we exist, it must be in and through us. And that is from Ernest Holmes. So I hope you will join us this Sunday. We have a guest speaker. Well, she's not a guest. Rev Joan Faison, who is one of our practitioners and an interfaith minister like I am. And she will be giving the word this Sunday, which is how it works. How it works. We are going through the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind text. And so she will be sharing the 4th chapter, how it works. So join us Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's all I'll share today in the interest of time. Please join me on Sunday also for the other sip, which is Sunday in Praise, where I share a inspirational message that I have given in the past. And this Sunday, I will be sharing last Sunday's sermon that I gave, what it does, it flows. That was chapter 3 in the Science of Mind text. So I will replay that. And that's at 10:30 as well. So you have some options there. Go to service, and then you can watch the replay of the replay later on. You can follow me at I am Rev Melissa on social media. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, I am Rev Melissa. And that's the easiest way to see old episodes of SIP. Okay? All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I so appreciate you all being here. Thank you. My screen was doing something crazy. All right. Thank you, Maria. Namaste to you. Thank you, Patty. Namaste. Have a great day to you as well. So peace and blessings, everybody. I am so looking forward to you sharing your complaint-free journey. So you can send me a direct message. You can reach out. I would love to know how that's going for you. And I am here to support you. If you need support, reach out. I am Rev Melissa. Direct message me and we can set up some time to talk. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We are living life in joy. Yes, we are connected to our yes.